Hello YouTube. I think I'm getting ready to start my next big project. And boy do I mean it, a big project. This is a 1972 Chevelle. I've had this car since I was 14. That was roughly 20 years ago. Hard to believe it's been that long, but this was going to be my first car and ended up buying a parts car for it, which was my 1972 El Camino, and it was a little bit closer to getting ready, so I ended up making that my first car and was like, I'll get to this later. Like most things go, 20 years later, and I've toted it around 4 different houses, and it's become a lawn ornament everywhere I go, staring at me, showing me that I've been defeated and I should probably just sell it and get rid of it. Reluctantly, I've decided not to for all these years, and I just decided, you know what, it's time to put this thing together. So here I am once again in the proverbial side yard, and I figured before I touch it I should probably document the whole thing, because I'm not going to frame off, restore this classic car to its original quality and, you know, yada yada. There's a ton of guys that do that, and hats off to them. They do a great job, and some of them take years to get stuff done and they end up with a great product. I'm not that way, and I just like to enjoy cars. So I think what I'm going to do here is pull this into my shop for my winter project. I seem to have this theme going ever since I built my shop in 21, that I pull in something big for the winter project. So I was looking around and decided, you know, what's going to be my winter project this year. I needed some type of creative outlet, and this is the only one in my yard that doesn't run. I've got like 7 cars, 5 bikes, too much, but this is the only one that I can't hop in right now and go up the road. So to finish out my current fleet, I decided this is the one that's going to get worked on next. There's a long story with this car, and I will talk about it, but right now I just wanted to come over here, show you how it's been sitting for at least the last 6 years, and kind of give you like this is my baseline. I'll talk more about the car and the story of the car as we go along in this series, but I wanted to give you the scope of the project as of right now, and that's take all of the parts that I've already accumulated over the years and just put it all on and buy the bare minimum of what I need to get the car on the road, driving and going out and enjoying it. Not going to make it perfect. I'm not going to go down 100 different rabbit holes and doing all this crazy stuff. I don't think I'm the person to do that to this car, and you can always go back and do it later. As much as all these guys will tell you, well, you're already in here, you might as well make it perfect, you know, I call BS. If it's going to take you 5 years, 10 years to get it done, it's not worth it. So my goal is to take this car in here and work on it over the winter, and in the springtime be driving it and having a good time. Now I told a couple guys that I know that, and they all laughed at me, most of them older men. You know, oh, there's no way, it's just not going to happen. So that kind of gave me a little bit of a challenge to, all right, I'm going to make it happen. So anyway, you always need a good challenge. This is going to be my 1972 Chevelle project. Follow me along. Hope you enjoy the series. Give me a like and subscribe and follow and whatever you do. Try to push it out to some people that are interested in this kind of stuff. I'm going to try to do it on a budget the best I can. I'm not going to put high dollar parts all over it. I'm just going to get an old, cool, classic car that's been sitting for 20 years and more before that, back on the road and enjoying it. So here we go. So here it is. Like I said, it's literally been sitting here for 6 years, and then 20 years prior to that. Now the good news is I have done a lot of work to this car. or let's say I've had a lot of work done to this car, because this was early off in my automotive career and I didn't know how to do anything, which I still probably don't. But this car was baby blue when I got it, and a guy was starting to make a little drag car out of it. So I'll get into the entire story. I'll sit down and have an episode, or I might just put it in here. But it has new quarter panels, new quarter panels on either side, new door skins, although this one is going to need to be replaced again because it's got a dent in the door and it started to be in bad shape. New front fenders, new hood. So a lot of the work body-wise has already been done. Of course, it's been sitting here and just been gathering all kinds of weather. So I had bought all new floor pans for it. I had a bunch of interior parts for it. I mean, I've had a ton of stuff to put this car together, and it's just never come to fruition. So that's what we're doing. First thing I need to do is figure out if the snakes are still living in it. Because for the 6 years that this car has been sitting here, every year snakes nest in this thing. Now, that hasn't been that big of a deal because it's been nice to know that they've been way over here in the side yard and not in my house or in my garage. But now that I want to mess with this, it's kind of sketchy. So hopefully the snakes aren't in there. They're just black snakes, so they won't do me any harm, I don't think. But I do know most of the time they've been living in the trunk. So let's see if I can open this thing up and see if they're still in here. Immediately I see a snake skin hanging right there. And a bunch of parts I didn't know I had for it. Oh, look at this. It's a little treasure trove. Got some long tube headers. Looks like I got brand new wheel arch chrome. A bucket seat. That's cool. Never knew I had that. Fan shroud. Got some, it's like maybe an AC condenser. Some more snake skin. Heater box, maybe. Wow. Well, I don't see any snakes. Looks like they had a little dinner already ready for them. Look at that thing. Snake skin. Snake skin. Hopefully they're all gone. There's all the brand new floor pans I had for it that are now got covered in surface rust. Maybe I can clean them up and reuse them. I think that's the rear glass inside it. I don't think I have the front glass for it. So I got the rest of the AC equipment down there. Some rear quarters for the inside. Yes, it's a Malibu. It's not an SS, but at the time I'd bought everything and was going to turn it into an SS clone, so we'll see if I still do that. Will this door open up? Hey, door opens up nice. Door glass is still in it, so that's good. There's a little bit of the reason it needed floor pans. Hopefully you can see the giant hole. Wow, this is going to be a big project. Is the key in it? Hey, the key's in it. As SpeedCreep would say, I got lightning sticks. I think that's what he says. See under the hood, what do we have here? As you can see, like I said, I wasn't lying, it's a brand new hood. Ah, another snake skin. It's a big one. Trying to get it out so you can see it. Maybe. I don't want to stick my hand in here, but I will. Also, I'm sure you can see now that I am missing a big part of it, which is the engine. And I think, yeah, missing the radiator. So, parts list from what I remember 20 years ago is I was missing engine and radiator. Problems was the torque converter had like a crazy high stall on it because the guy was building it for drag racing, and the rear end was whining. It had like a 411 rear in it, but I guess it was never shimmed properly, so it just whined every time I drove it up and down the back road. So I do know it at least needs a new rear gear, a new torque converter if I keep the automatic, and an engine. But like I said, I will get into the parts list in the next episode, or the episode after that, when I pull everything down into the shop and assess the situation. But as far as critters, I don't see any. I'm assuming they'd be scurrying about. At least I would think, and I hope. But they're not moving about, so let's open up this door. I think. Ooh, looking kind of rough there. Is this even open still? Alright, I might have set the camera down for a second to open this one up. Doesn't want to open up as easily as the other one did. Alright, we'll figure that out later. So no go on that door for now. Okay. Other than the one tire that's been debeaded, I think I can get it rolling pretty easily. So let me go get some reinforcements and move this thing over here onto the gravel so I can start the clean out process. Oh, there's some of that blue. Of course, I'm sure you've already seen it, but that was the original color, at least when I got it. All right. I think the snakes are still living in it. I just saw a black snake as I was coming back with the tractor. A black snake just went underneath the car. Great. I wonder where that fucker's at. He was like right here, and he slithered over there. I don't know where the heck he went. Little sketch. Getting ready to move his home, it looks like. I don't like that. Now every time I see a little shadow, I'm jumping. I know it's just a snake, but that's just it. It's just a snake. I don't want to mess with it. I don't know where he went. I don't know if he went over to the woods or if he went back inside the car. Guess I'm just gonna start moving. See what he does. All right, did y'all see anything? I don't know where this guy's at. I was so much more confident until I saw the snake. Maybe he went straight. But he definitely went straight underneath the car. Surely he wouldn't still be in it with me next to it. Right? Maybe? When I came back with the tractor, it was literally like right here. And it went there we go. Whatever. I'm gonna keep moving it. Who cares? Really kind of need 2 people. I wonder how sketchy it would be to put the tractor in low gear and drive the Chevelle. Hey, now we're talking. How's this for multitasking? A little readjustment of you guys. Alright. No snakes yet. He had to have gone back in the woods. Boy, this is way easier with a tractor. This is why you need a tractor right here. Yeah. Got the video rolling. That's up. Well, I guess that's how you do it. Use the tools you got. So, Chevelle successfully moved. Hopefully my snake friend is not still inside. And if he is, hopefully he vacates pretty soon. But there you go. Chevelle, out of the grass and out of the weeds. Step 1 complete. Where's he at? I don't see him. Oh, he's on the transmission.
Yeah.
All right, y'all walk away. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I wasn't lying. There he is. Oh, bastard was still in there. He was on top of the transmission. All right. So let's see if I can grab you guys along for this adventure. Can you come over here and keep an eye on him?
He's first coming at us.
Oh yeah, you run if he comes at you, but
okay.
just keep an eye on him.
I don't see him. Okay, I got it.
Still in the same spot. You still there? Well, I want to spook him to get him out of there.
You want me to hold the camera?
You can.
I mean, I'm gonna back up a little bit. Oh my god.
Coming down. Come on, little buddy. Coming out your way.
Okay.
Back right corner. Now he's coming this way.
Oh my god! Front tire, back, other way, back the other side. In the back, tire.
Where?
Back on the tire, in the center.
On to you.
Okay. I don't see him.
By the tire.
Okay. Yep, going towards the back. He's in the back.
I see him.
Okay.
Get out of my car.
He's still back here. Good Lord, he is big. Out here.
All right. Come here, you little bastard.
In the front. I don't see him. He must have gone back up.
Yeah. Well, she's rough. Missing a few parts. And I did just fight a snake for it. And he's still currently in there somewhere. But this is the next project over at SpeedCreep. She needs a few things. But nothing, a little bit of time, labor, and hopefully not a whole lot of money can fix. The OG Chevelle. Be fun to see this thing on the road. Winter project, loading. And I'm a little worse for wear after cleaning that thing out, but got everything cleaned out. Well, hold on, let me show you this in a second. This is everything that was stored in there. Looks like we got cow trim, some old headers, some interior bits, a milk crate full of goodies that the rats have made their own, that bucket seat that I didn't even realize that I had. I'm not even sure it'll be usable. All of the AC stuff. Excuse me. It looks like I was attempting to do AC. I don't even remember this stuff. It's been so long. I do have all the floor pans. Now, of course, they're covered in rust, but it's just surface rust. They're all in good shape. And going with the spirit of this build, I will treat them, clean them, treat them, and paint them, so I don't have to worry about them rusting anymore. Even had all the brackets. I think it's like all the braces for underneath the floor, so that's cool. Trunk, it looks like I thought I needed to put a trunk pan in, but I guess I had the trunk pan already put in. Now it definitely needs a little bit of work. It wasn't put in the best, so I'll have to clean it back up and touch up a few things, but at least the trunk pan metal is in good shape. So we got that. Drip rails all look pretty good. I guess that's what you call these, the drip rails. Of course, all the body's good. That's, well, good-ish. I'll call it good-ish. But you can see here that there were new quarters put in. You can see the blue behind it from the inner panel. So the floorboards is what I knew I had to do, and they are in worse shape than I remember 20 years ago. Makes sense. So definitely the rears need to be replaced, but I have that whole piece, so I can do that. The driver's side is pretty rough in the back. Looks like it's pretty light in the center, and then really bad up in the floorboard. Hopefully that doesn't go up too far close to the firewall, but we will see later. This side definitely doesn't go up to the firewall. It's just right there at that corner, so that one won't be that bad. All this in the center is in good shape, and then this is bad as well. But it looks like I've got good metal around it. Like that's all really good and not pitted or nothing. So I think I can get in here and scribe in some new metal to old metal and replace all this junk. Definitely glad I got the braces, because you can see underneath here the braces looking pretty bad. But that is my floor situation. Also, looks like this door used to be red. Which, a little bit of archaeology, that door is blue, so I'm assuming this one had a red door put on it and somebody repainted it blue. You see it kind of chipping off here. And then it's been primered on the outside when I put, or not when I put, but when I had the new door skins put on. So, cool. That's the way we're sitting now. So, the first hour was me pulling this thing out of hibernation, and it looks like the second hour was me getting all of this junk out of it. And stupid me, I thought this bench seat was going to be reusable. It is not. I mean, I'm sure it is to an extent, but it's just so rotten. I think I'd be better off if I was going with a bench seat to just buy a new one. But we'll get to that way later. So we got some numbers and markings. I don't know what they mean. I'll have to do some research. 0272. Gross vehicle weight 4730. Front 23 something. Rear 2390. It's a passenger car. This is a pretty cool one. I don't know if I can revive that one. Got a little bit of overspray on it. I don't know, y'all tell me if that means something. But it looks like, All I can make out is 26 maybe PSI. Vehicle capacity, bench seat. It's like another used to be there. Some cool old stickers. I did find on this piece here, this looks like it was in surprisingly good shape. To give you an idea what this car was, it looks like it was a 307 2-barrel. That's kind of cool. Only thing I knew about it was that it was a Malibu. I guess there maybe used to be a sticker there. Somebody scraped off. Probably important. Of course, this door doesn't have anything, and neither does the back of the quarters because that's all new metal. Well, cool. All right, well, hour 2 down on the Chevelle rebuild. All right, I'm tired. Go get a bite to eat and just bite off little pieces at a time. That's what I'm trying to do with this whole build. Be slow and steady and see if I can get this thing together instead of just leaving it over in a heap in the side yard because I don't want to spend 5 years on it. So it's looking pretty big project for having it done over the winter. But I'm gonna give it my best shot. See if we can do it. Okay, it is time to see if I can get the top layer of this junk off. So we'll press watch into start this heat. All right, see the outside. All right, it's done with its first wash. Many more are going to be needed to get all of the years of grime off of it. But at least the top layer is off. And unfortunately, you can see that dent, but that's the only thing in the body that's not straight. Everything else is new metal. It's just old, but new. So it hasn't seen any years on the road, just years of sitting. But give you an idea of what it might look like here in the future. I guess for those of you, maybe 2 people that haven't seen a 72 Chevelle before, but you can see some of the original color under here. Used to be this pretty blue color. Not sure if I'll paint it back that color or not. Thought about doing it all back that color and making it a Malibu again because that's probably more rare to see than it is an SS clone. But who knows? Who cares? At this point, I'm just looking to get it on the road. Well, first wash down, at least it's cleaner, and I guess I'll get some Awesome or Spray 9 or something and scrub this thing down. I'm assuming it's probably going to be easiest to clean it now before I take it off the frame, and that'll help me from gumming up my sander when I do eventually get to this. It'd be nicer if it wasn't just completely caked in mildew and dirt. So I will try to clean it up pretty decently before I roll it into the shop and start tearing it apart. It might not save me any time, but it feels like the right thing to do. So there it is, all somewhat clean and on to the next step. That's hour 3. I guess short story time. This car was actually supposed to be my first car. And when I bought it, started sending it off to the shop to get all this work done to it. And actually purchased a parts car, which was this 1972 El Camino. And at the time I was getting ready to drive. I just turned 16 when I got this as a parts car, I think, somewhere around that time frame. And since it was running, but it was rotten and rusted, I decided to drive this. And then, long story short, this ended up turning into the car that I put money into because it was easier, and I took it little by little instead of like that Chevelle. So this ended up being my first car, and it definitely didn't look like this when I did it, when I drove it. But over the years, some of the Chevelle parts ended up on this, and I ended up keeping this one. So this is one that's not leaving the stable for sure. 1972 El Camino, my favorite. But the idea is that now, let's get that one to the same shape. Got a long way to go. Also, if you're new to this channel, here's a little sneak peek of some of the other randomness. 80 4-wheel drive. Did a frame off on this one. Candy painted my lawnmower. Oh yeah. And my first paint job, 63 Cadillac, bagged. So if you like this kind of stuff, stay and hang out. Watch some of my older videos. Give me suggestions on what you want to see. And if you haven't seen it in the background already, that's another 63. That one's a 4-door Fleetwood. And a few other fun things. Little early Evo sidecar action. Got like 5 more motorcycles in there, 1 supercharged. I'm into all kinds of stuff. That's probably why my channel doesn't grow, because I don't stick to one thing. But I didn't do it to be famous. I did it because I wanted to document this stuff. So now you're in the documentation of building back this 72 Chevelle. Overall, it looks way cleaner than it did before. But when you get up close to it, you can still see it is just caked on. And it's not coming off easily, that's for sure. Guy at work suggested using some of this Dollar General special on it. Awesome. And then agitating it and rinse it off. So give that a try. See what it does. It's supposed to rain all this weekend. It's Friday for me. So I was kind of hoping to do the kind of final wash on it and then possibly pull it in the shop this weekend. That way I can start tearing apart the dash, because that's really the only thing left to tear apart on the inside. And I'm assuming probably try to salvage most of those bits and see if I can just reuse them. So tear apart the dash on the inside and just start the disassembly on this thing. So we'll see. That might be ambitious, but right now it's awesome. Let's give it a try. Alright, did 2 test spots, one with the hard bristle brush and one with the soft. Scrubbed it in for about a minute apiece. It's been sitting total for about another minute. Alright, I mean, I don't know if y'all can see it on camera. This was the soft bristle. Nothing there. This is the hard bristle. The hard bristle clearly did more, but it took a lot of elbow grease, and it's still there. So I think I'm kind of getting diminishing returns on this. I might just end up hitting all of the horizontal spots of the car real quick. I don't think it's gonna be worth it to go over the whole thing, so I'll probably hit the hood, the trunk, and the roof, and then the rest of it I'll just have to clog up in my sandpaper later, because it just doesn't quite seem worth it. So I'll spare you all that time, and I'll have it finished like this. That might have worked for something a little bit less far gone, but between it being primer and it's sitting for 6 years, it's just soaked in. I don't really see the point of doing anything more than that. That's just gonna have to be sanded off. I mean, you're scrubbing and scrubbing, that stuff's just soaked in there. So, again, the next step's probably gonna be hooking it back up to the tractor and dragging it into the shop, and probably getting rid of my friend here that has already built a web. It's like he's got dinner right there. Wonder where he's at. We shall see. Alright, it's in the shop. Big step. Hard to believe that this Chevelle is in my shop. I know it doesn't sound like a big, deal, but boy, this thing has just been sitting around. And it's finally in the shop. Getting ready to get worked on. Already getting worked on, I guess. It's just a cool feeling. In the shop. Something about it being in the shop instead of outside or even in the gravel. It just makes it feel proper. But it's here. Hopefully my snake friend is not here. I haven't seen any signs of him, and I've been moving and washing and all kinds of stuff, so I'm hoping either he moved out or he was out when I just brought it in here and he doesn't come back. The only places I can think of that he could be is behind the dash or in the frame rails. The only places that I can't get to at the moment. So it's gonna be a little sketchy taking the dash apart, but I'm sure he's gone. Hopefully, that's what I'm gonna tell myself. And then once I get it up on the lift, I'll be able to inspect all the frame rails. But just peeking up underneath of it, another guy at work that's into these cars and these Chevelles said another bad spot for him on the frame is right here where all the dirt gets up in there. And just from looking at it and sticking my head up underneath of it finally for the first time, it looks solid right there. So great news. And I mean, it looks like garbage right now, but it looks solid right there. So that is good news so far. Hopefully I keep getting some of that good news. But all this is going to come apart anyway, because I'm going to borrow a rotisserie from my father-in-law and I'm going to do a body off on this thing. So looks like maybe dash apart, get all that out, put it on the lift, start spraying down body bolts. Probably a lot of cussing later. I will separate, well, I gotta take the doors off too. I will separate the body from the chassis and probably scooch the body over here, I would imagine, on the rotisserie, as long as it fits over here, and start cutting into that. So it'll be body and then chassis, and then you know the deal, put it all back together. Simple as that. But once again, another cool step. Hour number 4 in the shop. Let's keep up this momentum. All right, I will try to have a little bit more of a storyline going through this. I know the last time I did a restoration project was my old square body pickup. And one of the big problems I had was I would just record every day and I never really knew when a video would start or stop. So sometimes I did a lot of repeating. So sorry if I repeat myself, but I'll try to cut that out. It just takes a lot of time to record stuff and work. It's way easier to just work. When you're working and recording, you got to stop and start and make sure you got a decent angle so y'all can see what's going on. So bear with me. I'm going to try to make that better. But I'll try to get better also at figuring out where a video is going to start and stop. So we'll see how that goes.